You know when someone is selling from stage and at the end the audience gets up and rushes to the back of the room to buy? That's a table rush. My name is Mischa Z, and the Table Rush Talk Show is all about bringing you the tools, strategies, and tactics that you can use to grow your audience and inspire them to buy.
Okay, on the last episode, I was talking about my frustration with what am I doing with this podcast and the sister YouTube channel? And, the universe was like, be patient, it'll come together. And I'm like, I want the answer now. So I'm feeling my frustration and thinking, I'll quit. I'm going to go teach yoga. I never got quite that extreme, but you get it. You get the, sometimes emotional upheaval can feel very extreme. And then on the last episode, I was talking about how I was going through the divorce, and Nitro Sales was a company that I'd started, and it was going sideways, and my two long-term assistants, Mary and Carrie, both were leaving, one for another state, one for a different opportunity with her husband, financially collapsing, relationships collapsing. It was a dark time. And so I've got Nitro Sales, and it's lead gen and sales. Like the idea was, hey, I'll help you with your lead gen and we'll explode your sales. Hence the Nitro Sales. And I go to the judge. No, not the judge. So I'm in the middle of a divorce. And they're trying to the judges and the lawyers are trying to figure out how much I get to pay the boy's mom every month. And I get ordered to go see a vocational evaluator. I think I had to get a vocational evaluation. I think that's what you call it. Because everything was collapsing, and the judges and the lawyers are like, well, that's great that you have zero income and your debts, your obligations are more dramatically more than your income, and your savings are evaporating. Literally, that's what was happening. It was an insane, brutal time. Everything I'd built was just collapsing. And they said, that's great. You still get to pay alimony and child support. And you have value on the open market in the loan business. Like, that's great that you have a failing business, but you could go do home loans because you are adept at that and had success. So go see this vocational evaluator. And we're going to assign an income number to you, so that way we can figure out how much you get to pay in alimony and child support. And I just want to say, I'm telling you this story with love, without resentment. I get both sides of the coin. I got to be the husband that, the relationship ended, and Dawn, God bless her, the boy's mom, was a stay-at-home mom, and things needed to be worked out. And it's a scary time to be the mom coming out of a divorce when you've been stay-at-homing for at least 10 or 12 years or whatever it was at the time. Maybe it was 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, somewhere in there. But when you've got no career, your skill set is raising kids. Like, that's a scary time for the mom. And I get it. And so, by the grace of God, I'm going through all this, and I've got as about as open mind as you can have, and I'm trying to be supportive, but at the same time, I'm like, oh no, this is BS. Like, I've got to see a vocational evaluator, and my business is collapsing, and you're gonna order me to pay money? Like, what? and the other side, Dawn's side, got to pick the vocational evaluator. And I was like, wait a minute. The cards, the deck seems to be as stacked against me. And, through this time I was gifted truly by God, my higher power, the capital S self, creative intelligence, the universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you want. It was like, Mish, compassion, tolerance, patience. Like, you got to see the other person's viewpoint. Kids are number one. All this stuff, like forgiveness, trust. And so I was like, all right, I got to go see this vocational evaluator. And I was like, how can I be of service? What can I bring to the table? Like, God help me here. I need help. How can I go in with an open mind? How can I go in to see the vocational evaluator who looks to be the enemy with an open mind? It was a heavy time, my friends. So I go in with an open mind. And the vocational evaluator says, hey, here's the thing. We're going to assign this number to you because it's a reasonable number of somebody working 40 hours a week as a loan officer in the new market, not somebody working 80 hours a week at the peak of the market. So you do not need to worry about that. And I was like, okay. And she also said, if you would like to, make this better for yourself with the judge and put as good a bow on this as possible, I recommend you go out there and start talking to 2 of your loan contacts a day and document it so you can show the judge that you're trying. You're trying to get your business back on track, as well as you're putting yourself out there in the workforce. Yes, Miss Vocational Evaluator. And I came out of that meeting or meetings, whatever it was. I think it was actually honestly just one meeting, and this lady was so sweet. And she's like, I'm not the enemy. And I'm truly here to help you. And so much of the fear and tension of that time melted away. Truly. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is going to be okay. The financial collapse will end. You'll get back on track. And it's not the world against you. And so my job at that point was shutting down Nitro Sales, ending all the financial obligations gracefully, because my expenditures were very large and the income had collapsed. And at the same time document, communications with my contacts in the loan business. And of course, immediately I got offered great job opportunities in the loan business, and it was my entry back into the loan business. I've been trying to get out, start my own business. That was the dream. Thank you so much for listening to this. And so I shut down Nitro Sales and I re-entered the loan business. 2010, perhaps, somewhere in there. 2009, I don't know, somewhere in there. But back into the loan business, and everything stabilized. Sorry, I got distracted, and I'm thinking how to button up this episode, button up this series. And I think I'm going to end here and go to a part 3 and bring it all together. Part 3, the new branding, idea 3 of the podcast and its sister YouTube channel, the rebrand. And yes, main lesson from this episode. Talk to your source, your God, your higher power. Ask to be of service. Keep an open mind. Stay tenacious. Try to help. Trust in God it'll work out all right. Enough. Listen to part 3.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Table Rush Talk Show. For resources to help you sell your stuff, go to belove.media/resources. That's belove.media/resources. And be sure to subscribe, comment, 5-star, and share. Thank you again for listening.